All right, everybody, welcome to the Zabecast. Zabe, Scott Lynn, Al Galdi, Steve Solomon alongside for a little 3.5-minute joyride. We kill Peter King on my show, and we'll kill him here in the Zabecast. He writes about his aggravating travel note of the week in his column this week, his endless 6-page, multi-layered
He's got
column.
space to fill. There's a lot of information in there and a lot of travel tips as well. He's like Rick Steves.
Writes King, I don't want to say it was too hot on my Newark to Nashville Continental flight the other morning.
How hot was it?
But the mini Kit Kat in my lunch snack couldn't be opened because the chocolate was percolating inside. Now, I don't know what the standing temperature is required to actually boil chocolate.
Let's take this
like
at
a
the literal,
fondue
Zabe.
pot.
Right, so he opens it up and it's percolating.
Well, no, he might not. He said it was unable to be opened.
So it was bubbling inside.
That's what he claims. Now, maybe that's a writer's exaggeration.
That sounds like an exaggeration.
Maybe it was just melted.
People running for the exits because of Peter's hot Kit Kat.
Little hot in here, he mentions to the flight attendant as we crossed over Morgantown, West Virginia. See, that's one of those unnecessary
Well, he
details.
wanted to give you a
like,
little bit of location. I don't think there's a problem with that.
Where were you when you had your Kit Kat incident, Peter? I
judge
was over
wants to know.
Morgantown.
Yes, exactly.
Listen, Captain, here. We're passing over Morgantown, right? Enjoy your boiled Kit Kats today on Continental.
You better believe if it was the big cat, Peter would have found a way to get into it.
The big cat's awesome. But you gotta chill the big cat.
Nice, about 5 minutes in the freezer.
Throw it in the
Yeah.
freezer. I'm with you, Solly.
A big cat at room temperature is not too good. It's too chocolatey. It's too chewy.
Yeah,
Not in the winter.
Make them cold. I'm absolutely with you guys.
He says, little hot in here, King says. I mentioned to the flight attendant. You might be able to turn the temperature down a little, ? The pleasant fellow said, it was so cold coming in this morning. Yes, writes King, and that applies to the current equatorial Guinea climes in here exactly how. I will try, said the cheery man. But by the time the temperature changes, it'll be time to get off the plane. I see, writes King, ... And then he's off to his next point about
He's off.
about going to the Hermitage, Andrew Jackson's estate in Nashville. Now I ask you, what happened with the Kit Kat?
I think he licked the wrapper and still devoured it.
Who has worse stories, Jay Peterman, Solly, or Peter King?
Jay's at least are interesting.
Or
What was-
what's his name from Planes, Trains, and Automobiles? The
John
shower
Candy?
ring. Yes,
Yeah.
John Candy's character.
When you're telling a story, have a point.
it makes
it so much more like
interesting.
a
I
beginning,
was
a middle,
deep in
and an
the
end.
jungles of Burma.
So if you're the lady next to Peter and you look over and you see him go, ooh, ha, ha, and he's got this hot chocolate bar on, you go, hey, sir, be careful with that. He's got this bubbling chocolate packet.
What happened with the pants that Peterman, the pants story he bought from Kramer that sucked? It was like I was wearing the pants I was going to return, and I got them muddy in the
Right.
Lincoln Tunnel.
He couldn't return them.
The
Got 'em
very
muddy.
pants I was going to return. See, this story would be great, Peter, if you're like, I couldn't believe it. They gave me a mini Kit Kat that was boiling, and I was outraged, and I mentioned to the flight attendant, it's too hot in here.
Peter should buy some good stories.
Right, and then
like
he
Kramer
snipped
did.
the corner with
Yeah.
pinking shears and then shot the flight attendant in the eye with the hot chocolate.
But the great ending would be, much to my surprise, the attendant came by with a round of graham crackers and marshmallows, and we made s'mores.
Oh,
Thank you,
ha-ha.
Continental.
Bravo.
Genius. I guess we'll have to be left hanging on the conclusion of Peter's melted
So
mini
sad.
Kit Kat. In other football news, here's what he thinks about the NFL.
Travel safely, Peter.
Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.